Welcome to the Energy Upgrade podcast. Hey, I'm Vanessa, and I'm obsessed with all things health, energy, entrepreneurship, motherhood, and living my best life. I'm here to give you actionable steps in reclaiming your energy and reconnecting with your power. I'm a certified integrated health practitioner and kinesiologist. I spent the past decade with a focus on skin health and age prevention while co-founding a network of medical aesthetic clinics on the west coast of Canada. After healing myself from burnout, mold, heavy metal, and all the things, I'm back to my passion for health optimization, and I'm lucky enough to coach high-achieving women just like you in finding their energy and life force back. Transforming their life so they can step into the highest version of themselves has energized me and inspired me to bring to life this podcast. Here, I'll talk about detox, lifestyle, mindset, supplements, breathwork, parasites, and everything in between. I know you're so busy, so I keep it under 30 minutes. Thank you for being here. Cozy up and let's get started.
Your time is now. Your energy is your life force. You want to be able to magnetize your wellness dreams. A liver detox is the fastest way to start healing. You can and you will.
Okay. Hello, high achieving women. Welcome to another episode of the Energy Upgrade. And today I'm so excited to be welcoming Kath Evans.
Oh, thank you, Vanessa.
Founder of Tallu Co. and now a wellness advocate in the community.
Thank you so much. I'm honored to be here with you and all of your beautiful community.
Yes. And we're recording this in the flesh.
In the flesh, we are together in Vancouver.
So if you're listening on YouTube, you can watch us. We're actually in a beautiful room at the Opus, Vancouver, downtown.
In Yaletown, yeah.
And we have this beautiful suite.
It's very swanky.
So it's perfect. So today I wanted to bring you in because you've made a massive, massive shift in your life on many levels.
Yes.
And I'd love for you to share your story. You founded this beautiful line that I'm obsessed with, Tallu Co, which revolves around the power of essential oils. And I'm just curious to know, how did you go from like corporate all into this new, more, intuitive, more wellness oriented business?
Well, I always say to people when they ask, where did the name come from? Or should I look at you or do I look at your...
It doesn't matter.
Where did the name come from and how did Tallu come to life? And in actual fact, I always say it came to life by accident, but I actually don't think anything happens by accident in this universe anymore. I was one of the very lucky stories through COVID where my life changed for the better. The business that I was operating in closed through COVID. And there were some sequences in my life that were definitely meant to be that actually came through and happened. I first fell in love with essential oils through my own personal needs. It actually started in motherhood. And I think hormones, lack of sleep, a lot of the things that you talk about and support all of us with, led me to a place where I felt like I didn't have control over my emotions. And I felt like I didn't have control over, really honestly, day to day, what was happening and how I was feeling and how I was managing through the stress of a new baby and the stress of a business that was doing something else. And my sister actually said to me, she handed me a roller of lavender and said, just try this. And that was really the beginning of it for me because it worked. And as soon as it started to work, my body began to find some equilibrium in the hormones and equilibrium and really bring some emotional support through the plant medicine, as I like to call it, which is different today. But really the plants began to evolve into a place in my life where they were really needed on a daily basis. And then in COVID, I'm an equestrian. I ride horses. It's really like my amateur hobby.
Yes.
But I call him my spirit animal. He actually passed away quite tragically. And when you ride horses and something like that happens, all you do is just go back to the barn because you don't know what else to do with yourself. And I went back to the barn the next day, and they gave me a really beautiful gray horse to ride called Nemo. And they get really dirty. Gray horses get really dirty, and you use these body sprays on them. So I went home, and I actually came back to the barn on my second day, and I had made a body spray with essential oils. And it was at that moment where I realized in my non-toxic living, in my family life, that I wanted to bring it to the animals. So I went to the barn, and my beautiful friend, Shelley Ferris, said to me, why don't you put a label on that bottle, and why don't you sell it? And that was the moment that Tallu was born. So I always say it was born in the barn, which it was. And the name Tallulah is actually the name of that beautiful horse that passed. That was his mother's name. So Tallu was a nickname for that. And that's really where the name comes from. And it comes from a place of, it was born out of absolute sadness, which is an interesting transition when I look back on the last 2 years. It was like he kind of birthed this to me in his transition out. So it's quite a cool story.
And you birthed your business through a very sad and difficult time in the world as well.
Yeah, it was. And it was, people often say to me, wow, Kath, like your success in 2 years is incredible. And, what marketing strategy or what business strategy? And I to this day don't have one. And I want to talk a little bit about that, because people often say, how did you do it? And who did you pay to help you? And it has been built, Vanessa, and you're a wizard in the world of marketing and how you market yourself and your business so authentically, but it has been the same thing for me. I built it all myself, really from the ground up, went home, built a website, and it's been the most authentic birth of a business. And I stay so locked in true to that on a daily basis, that if my authentic story will continue to tell the way we use these products, then I believe it'll be successful.
Yeah. And often we get asked, and I know you were sharing how people ask you, like, how did you do the jump? How did you take the leap? And it finds you. It
totally finds you. And so people often say, you've been so successful. I feel like I have so many things on my side. If we talk about women in business, it'll make me cry, but there have been so many examples of women that have been so incredibly supportive in my community that have 1000% changed the trajectory of the business for the better. And I know wellness is trending in the direction where we want more of it in our life. We want to welcome more of it into our homes, with our children, with our animals, really within ourselves. And through COVID, people made that shift, I think, in their lives. And my business Tallu really aligns with that kind of perfectly.
Totally. Let's talk about exactly what you're offering. For those who don't know Tallu Co., I heard you talk about how it changed you, the essential oils, but let's talk about exactly what is it that you're offering.
So I keep going back. I have to rewrite this story a little bit. I feel like every 6 months, it's like we're fine tuning what is the brand message. But the brand message was designed as this. We created sacred blends of essential oils that were meant to and created to enhance your life. So enhance your sacred space of your home, enhance the sacred space of your cocoon of meditation, enhance the sacred space of your kids' lives. And that continues to be the story today. And it is the driving force. It touches on non-toxic in your home life. It talks about meditation and wellness and mindfulness in your own personal space and existence. And then it kind of continues on to our animals and it continues on to our kids. And I knew we wanted to create products that were small batch and that were raw and that were made to enhance and make your life feel better in a clean way.
And in a beautiful way. I love a good brand.
It's so nice.
And your branding is I told Kath, I was like, thank you for designing products that fit perfectly in my kitchen.
Well, it's true. And sometimes I peek over your shoulder when you're in your beautiful kitchen and I see the rollers on the shelf and I'm like, that's nice. I feel
Yeah.
so honored that they're in your beautiful kitchen and space.
And so some of my favorite products, I have lots, but you have your kitchen spray, which
So
I
good.
think is like a pillar for you.
It is. It's a total hero product. Yeah.
So the kitchen spray, I have used it literally everywhere except my marble counter.
Yes, good. Your brand new marble counters, maybe don't, just for a while.
Because so it has the vinegar,
A touch
right?
of organic vinegar, yeah, to cut the grease. But I always say to people, unless you've tested your countertops, then you're better to just be safe around it. We can do it with a blend of only tea tree and only lemon. But just because it's so brand new, I just say it's better to be safe.
Yes. But I've used it literally everywhere, like in the sink.
Oh,
And the smell.
oh, I know.
Like it leaves this. Oh, I love it.
And, and I spray it at night so that when I wake up in the morning, you turn the water on in the kitchen, then all you feel is like tea tree and lemon. And it's somebody once said to me, does it really work? And I said, you just have to try it.
Yes.
And then you'll learn. And she sent me a message back 6 months later and was like, I have been a nurse for 25 years and I have worked night shifts. And she said, the greatest struggle in my life is sleep. I can't sleep. I can't stay asleep because of the patterns of her work. And so she bought a linen spray and a lavender roller. And she was like, I can't believe that it actually works.
Yeah.
And it does work. It's proven. So you just have to try. And you just start. That's why we love the rollers. We have a roller bundle, which is like a beautiful way to start because people don't know how to use essential oils. They don't know where. And you don't have to have terrible anxiety to just want to feel a little bit better.
That's it.
So it's like, instead of a third cup of coffee in a day, I pick up my peppermint roller and it's in the car, it's everywhere. And it just uplifts your mood. It makes you feel better.
I see this as another tool in your toolbox.
Yeah.
And as a way to anchor yourself back into rituals. So you've mentioned the lavender roll. So for me, you'll be happy to hear, I use it every night. And so this is what I do. Tell me if I'm doing it right.
No.
I put some on my wrist. And then I'll take 3 really deep belly breaths.
Beautiful.
And then I take my melatonin.
Perfect.
Put on my earplugs, sleep mask. I tell hubby I'm out. See you in the morning. Mama needs her beauty rest.
Proper sleep.
But that smell, and I always tell this to my clients, like rituals, especially at night.
Yeah.
You know how we are so stuck on that with our kids, our babies, our toddlers. Like, okay, like 6:30, we're doing this, and then we're, bath time and PJs and story time, brush your teeth, right? There's a routine and there's a reason why we do that because it works. It anchors safety.
Yeah.
It sends really good signals to the nervous system that, hey, we're okay. We're winding down. We're preparing for sleep. Melatonin, will naturally come up. And we as adults somehow think that we don't need that anymore and think that we can outsmart our nervous system. And it's like, no, it doesn't work that way. And so simple things like a lavender roll anchored in your evening routine is sending that strong, repetitive, consistent signal to the brain that, okay, when I smell lavender, that means it's sleepy time soon. And so I like it for that, to me, especially when you run a busy life, a busy household, and we have so many things coming at us. This is a moment, I find. I love it. So thank you for creating that.
Oh gosh, we should talk more about the ways and places and the rituals where they can be used. It's just forces you to, we always joke and find the pause. We joke in our family, find the moment for the pause. And it's like, not only in an elevated or escalated situation, if you find the time in the afternoon for the pause. And it happens for me a little bit when I drive, and driving or not driving, that is my pause time. I'm alone. I have my oils. I am sort of a mental break in the middle of the day, but I think it can be at 6 p.m. It can be the morning when you wake up and take those first intentional breaths, set some intentions for your day, open your journal, whatever your pieces of your routine look like. I know, and it's so easy to fall out of routine.
Oh gosh.
Oh my gosh, it's so easy. But when you go back and then you bring your routine and your rituals back, it's like immediately grounding yourself back into the space where you want to be.
It's proven also the more senses your
utilizing. So including a strong smell helps to ground, right?
Yeah.
So it's just another anchor point through the day. And you
Yeah.
have another amazing roller called Ground,
Oh, it's so beautiful.
which is the one I love in the afternoon when you feel like you've lost control of your day.
Because it's sort of deep and like moody a little bit, and it's got earth in it as well.
It's very nature, which I love.
Yeah, it's so lovely. Sam, as a baby, I used that on the bottoms of Sam's feet. And the woman, Christine Russell, who really is the person that brought essential oils through doTERRA into my life, she always said, bottom of the feet before you go to sleep, bottom of the feet with a very specific similar roller. And I think those rituals, grounding into your family life and in for yourself, it's just important.
Yeah.
And totally. It really makes a difference.
And we could go on, and you and I have geeked a little bit over the non-toxic, especially in the kitchen space. So I'm going back to the kitchen space here.
Let's go back to the kitchen.
This is one thing that's really dear to me, the detoxing and living a less toxic life as much as we can, making conscious choices to reduce that toxic load on the body. And that's especially true in the kitchen. It's everywhere and anywhere. And if we don't pay attention to it, it really adds up. And I often refer to the rain barrel.
I love that.
And it just is like one more drop into the rain barrel. So the fact that a product that is so simple, like the kitchen spray is what, like 4 ingredients?
Yeah, not even 3.
It outperforms things like Windex and Pledge and all the other completely so toxic products that, by the way, if you have those products in your cupboards, this is yet another reminder that it's got to go. It's so toxic, and most of the ingredients in there have been shown to cause cancer, yet it's still available on the shelf.
Yeah.
Super disruptive, especially if you have little ones in your family, but also animals.
Oh, totally.
Because they lick that stuff, and it's even worse for them. So I love that you're giving us a beautiful product that is super functional.
Yeah.
So efficiency is there.
Totally.
It looks on point.
Yeah.
You can even leave it on your counter.
Totally.
It's so beautiful. But I love that it's just doing what it's supposed to be doing, yet not exposing any of your family members to all these added smells and fragrances and chemicals that nobody needs in their life.
Yeah. And I think it's so interesting because every day people say to me, oh, by the way, I use the kitchen spray as a veggie soak. Is that okay? Like, of course it's okay. So they were like using their kitchen spray as just a low dilution in a big sink of water to soak their veggies.
Yeah.
So yes, of course you can use it there. Yes, of course you can use it inside your compost. Yes, of course you can use it inside your garbage. You can use it inside your shoes. There are no rules in terms of where. This woman said to me, she sprays her, she asked for a concentrate of just the tea tree, and we are going to do diffuser oils. We're trying to get there as soon as possible, but she wanted a concentrate of just the tea tree and the lemon. She said she puts it on cotton balls and she puts it inside her kitchen cupboards. So then the aroma, when you open the cupboard doors, is always fresh.
Oh,
so there's so many other ways that product can be used. Kids' lunch boxes. Like, we don't think about any, so any of the places where bacteria can grow, the tea tree is like, it wipes it right out. Anywhere to like clean the inside of your fridge. So you pull everything out of your fridge. I wipe all the bottles. Like, it's kind of exciting. And then when you open it, it actually smells so good and so lemony that we don't talk about the many, many ways that the product can be used, but it's good. The kitchen, and there's a refill. So it's like, it's our fave.
It's so good. So thank you for making that product. Also, if you're a fan of smells in the house, there's a good chance you might have candles kicking around. And so I can't help but take us there because candles are also highly toxic. People don't even know.
No.
It's so fragrances, for everybody's knowledge, they're not regulated. So fragrance is a word that can be used very loosely. There's no regulation around it. And so the word fragrance alone can be up to 30 to 40 different ingredients.
Right.
So when you see, it doesn't matter if it says natural fragrance, if you see the word
ethically sourced.
Yeah, no, it's like you can use all the marketing words, but at the end of the day, fragrance means it could be up to 30 different chemicals, which most of them we know they are hormone disruptors. They create behavioral issue, brain development in kids, fertility issues in women. Like, I mean, the list goes on. And here we are having these candles in all areas of our homes.
Oh my gosh.
And I want you to pay attention also the next time you light up a candle. Notice if you get a headache in the hours that are following that, because that's usually the case. It's so toxic. Your body will react to it. And if you don't get one, someone in your family will. But you made a candle.
We made a really nice candle.
A non-toxic candle that smells like, I have the eucalyptus one.
Is that not the best? It is so nice. It is like, so people don't really make eucalyptus candles. I don't know if you've noticed.
Yeah.
I think for sure, I have never smelled a eucalyptus candle that actually is made with the essential oils, which is why this smells so different. In a room, it's like, and it actually feels like it's kind of like cleaning the air. But it's pure and it's fully organic soy. It is the healthiest candle that you could ever experience. There's something different about that eucalyptus candle, because again, I think the ones you've ever smelled before have been, I'm sure for me, have been fragrances.
Yes.
And after the initial conversation you and I ever had about candles and learning a little bit more about it, I was never going to make candles. Like, this was not a thing I was going to take on. But it is so easy because I believe in those pure ingredients and I know exactly what I put in that candle. We melt them down to a specific temperature. We pour them out. Like, the process is very cool. And it's absolutely beautiful. It's beautiful in a bathroom. It's beautiful in a work environment all day long. So it happened totally by accident again, but that eucalyptus candle is like, it's absolutely lovely.
Yeah. So lots of amazing non-toxic options for home. You have products for kids, for animals, like you've mentioned.
Yeah. And it was funny, you said to me once, if you ever have a candle and you see a black smoke, like, imagine the black smoke. And I just can't stop that visual. For me is like, it's never left me, because we used to all buy candles. We'd buy candles at Winners. We would buy candles, right? Remember, like, I would have like an array of 6 of them burning all at the same time, all with a big plume of black smoke into the house. And you were like, that black smoke is going right into your lungs.
Yeah.
And right into anyway. So it burns very clear and very clean. And it's kind of refreshing. It was an education piece for me. And nobody knows that. My mom was like, oh, really? Okay. And so
smoke in all its forms is smoke, like secondhand smoke. Whether it's coming from a candle, from someone smoking, vaping next to you, it is smoke.
I know.
And it's not good for anybody.
No.
It's going to fill up your rain barrel again. And here you are having to detox.
I love that concept of the rain barrel. And it was like, you know, as you shared previously with me, is that you can't change everything at one time.
No.
But you can make a concerted effort. One little piece over time makes a difference.
Totally.
So you don't feel like you need to throw away everything in your house. But it's so funny. I had this really beautiful girl. She reached out to me, Lauren, and I'm going to share this with her because she said, how long until your shampoo comes out? Because we are going to do shampoo, conditioner, and a body wash. So good. She was like, I'm really skimping on my current bottle because I don't want to buy new shampoo until yours is ready. I was like, that is the cutest thing in the entire world. It's coming, I promise. But people, you can make decisions slowly. Like, you don't have to change everything. We can't do that. That's not realistic. But we can make little changes and they impact over time.
The power of the 1%.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. If you could like record yourself saying that, like that.
I just did.
I love it. You just did. You know, like zoom in on your face.
The power of the 1%. It's so true. And yeah, I'm not asking anybody to throw away everything they own. It's just anytime you need to repurchase, let's just make a conscious decision to not make our environment more toxic, because now, if you've listened to this, now and unfortunately, once you know it, you can't unknow it.
You can't. And these are the things that have stuck with me. Next coming up is going to be the Wi-Fi in my house on the timer. Yeah, they stick with you when you think about it over time. Of course, it adds up.
There's this big movement, like you said earlier, that people want to have more control over their health. They want to feel better. And maybe in closing, we can talk about your personal health transformation, because you experienced it in your business. And I imagine that just fueled you, gave you this extra motivation to take this very seriously into your own body as well.
Yeah. And I think if I think about my journey and my there's been so many pieces that sort of, I think, brought me to a place of wellness and feeling like I wanted to make very significant changes in my life. And I'm happy to say today I've lost almost 80 pounds, and I'm very, very proud and excited.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to be shy to celebrate it. I said this cute thing on Instagram last night. I was like, I know this is nerdy, but like, I'm quite proud of this outfit that I was wearing.
Yes.
And I feel like people are in this day and age, they're shy to say they want to try. They're shy to say that they did it and succeeded because they don't want other people, like, honestly. And I'm happy to share my authentic story of where and how and why. But there were some profound things that happened in my life that I knew I wanted to make some like extreme significant changes and apply some discipline to my life, which I previously didn't have, which I don't have shame around. I don't have any regret around. I have gratitude for the journey that kind of brought me here. But there were a lot of things. I think there were things that carried through my childhood. I think that there were things through my child rearing years, or however that's kind of motherhood.
Yes.
And my sister had heart surgery last July. She's the fittest woman I know. And I sat there and thought to myself, I need to lose 100 pounds. Mm-hmm. And I probably should find a way to make that transition and that journey start now, because I need to be in the best health for my son.
Yes.
And for my family. And that was the pivotal switch moment. And I'm so happy to talk all about it. There's a woman that came into my life who has been there. I met her 20 years ago in Montreal. She now works for Equinox Fitness. She has a very important job with that brilliant company.
Yes.
And she and I reconnected and found each other. And she really, we were sitting having sushi at a restaurant together in Los Angeles for an event. And she was telling me about this health coach that she'd hired. And it just sort of like clicked in my brain that I wanted to be working with that health coach too. And that was the pivotal moment. I know exactly where I was, what I was doing, and where we were sitting. And so from that moment forward, I hired a health coach. He wrote a meal plan. He helped me kind of build out the exercise strategy that was going to work for me, understanding my life, my son, my business, my horseback riding. And there were a few things. I'm also a bit competitive, and I wanted to do well at that horseback riding. And I wanted to excel, and I wanted to like rise up, and I didn't want any barriers in my way. And I had a very brave conversation with my trainer and said, what do you think is holding me back? And she was very honest with me from an athlete's point of view. And I kind of started my journey.
Yeah.
So alcohol was a huge piece for me. I didn't even really realize I was very comfortable with my relationship with alcohol at the time. And really it just sort of started because I was looking to kickstart my weight loss, that I knew that it was sort of empty calories. But through that transition of the no alcohol, I've learned a lot about myself. Mm-hmm. I've learned a lot about how I want to feel.
Yeah.
I learned a lot about how I want to sleep. And I've learned a lot about how I want it to be in my life. And it's very different. I'm happy to say that I'm happy to enjoy a cocktail when I feel like it, but it's just different than certainly it's ever has been.
I always say it's a lifestyle, isn't it?
It's a lifestyle.
And that's the beauty of it, is when you take consistent actions and you start to see results, it's no longer whatever your trainer, whatever your health coach is telling you, it's actually coming from you. And like you said, you're not willing to compromise that high quality night of sleep.
No,
you're not willing to, because you know how productive you can be the next day.
Yeah.
And once you've touched that,
yeah,
it becomes a non-negotiable. It becomes your lifestyle. It's who you are now.
Yeah. Well, and I think talk about energy upgrade. Like I feel like I have like reached this energy upgrade in my life today, and it's been about an 8 or 9 month journey. And I've been working with my naturopath, health coach, my medical doctor. I've had a whole team of people really supporting me through it, because it's major, and I knew I wanted to make significant changes. But my energy from then to now is, I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Sure. I still go to bed at 8:30, but I wake up at 5 and I'm incredibly productive in the mornings, and I'm going to celebrate every single milestone. And I also feel like, you know, she said, oh, well, what are your tricks and what are your tips? I am so there for women who want to start down this journey, because it is the hardest thing in anyone's life. It has been my life's greatest struggle, my weight.
Of course.
My whole life.
And
I didn't realize it until I was able to find a way to organize it to my healthiest self.
And in saying that, did you have to shed some layers and limiting beliefs and old?
Oh, I think I'm still doing it.
Yeah. It's a journey. I always say wellness is a journey, but it is the best gift you can ever give yourself, the best investment. There's not a single other investment that will pay back in dividends like this.
Absolutely. And I just never prioritized it. Like I just never did. And I think there were some layers of, I really don't think I felt like I was worthy of it. The time, the money, the energy, almost even like worthy of feeling how good I feel now. And that is heavy. And I don't know where, and I don't necessarily know why. And I have a whole nice team of people helping me with that these days. But I really feel like I came into this business with gratitude from the last 20 years. But I came into this business because it has truly been a rebirth of me. It's been a rebirth of not only with Tallu, but me in my own self-authentic space, creating something that is mine and mine only. And like, I'm going to celebrate every little win. I went to a beautiful retailer of mine at Bocce on South Granville and put on a pair of jeans and tried them on. And I bought those jeans and called it my top 5 girlfriends right away and said, I just went to Bocce and bought a pair of like stylish women denims in a 31. Like, I'm going to celebrate every one of those journeys and pieces. And then continue to just try and work with people who lift me up and people who add to my energy space and place, which I think is important.
Oh gosh. I mean, when I talk about detox, it's all those layers that come with it. It's realizing the relationships that are holding you back, that are keeping you down. It's realizing those limiting beliefs, those thoughts that we believe about ourselves that make absolutely no sense. And when you start not listening to every single thought you have, and when you start celebrating like you're doing, which, by the way, I've seen a huge shift in you being more in your feminine energy, which is, you know, because we know you can be in your masculine energy, get shit done,
do it all,
do the things, build a business, do the things. But what most of us are challenged with is actually just being, celebrating, resting, flowing.
Totally.
That's hard.
That's hard.
So hard. But I've seen you make that shift, and that is critical when you're healing, when your body's doing all this heavy work. If you're not able to find that balance, you're just paddling in the mud. It's just hard. But now you're just flowing.
Well,
It's a full rebirth.
It's a full rebirth. And I think there's something, I'm working hard on that. I have a really amazing mentor, Adele Tevlin, and she, it's realize that goddess in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Find
In you. Yeah.
And find her and gently allow and just let things be soft when that's my most uncomfortable muscle, I would say.
We just haven't been raised to use it.
Right.
But once you start touching that, isn't it addictive?
Oh, it's very addictive.
Because that's the power of, that's when things start to manifest.
Oh, yeah.
That's when you start attracting.
Yeah.
That's when things start to get easier.
Oh, yeah. It's so good. It is. And I think allowing that energy and feeling okay that it's coming, it's another whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's
accepting.
Like, what? It's like I can't even believe the things sometimes. And I think only when you're ready to take the leap and to make the decision to either choose yourself or choose your path or allow yourself into the path that chooses you, then it all feels pretty easy.
Totally.
I've learned that.
Would you have done this by yourself?
No.
Yeah.
No. There were people there. Have been so instrumental in my life, and they're on my board.
Yeah,
for sure.
I say that because often people go in circles and they get discouraged and they're thinking, I'm doing all the right things, but sometimes you need someone that's outside of you.
Oh,
showing you, leading you with vision and inspiration and taking you to those next steps.
Well, I think so.
And accountability.
It's like you said, like investing in whether it's wellness or a mentor or a health coach or all of those things have changed my life. I mean, none of it would have ever really happened without, the work and the guide and the mentorship and the really like demonstration of what it can be like and what life can kind of feel like when you make choices that are for you.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's just like that simple.
It's so good.
It's so
and
good.
As I always say, when you have energy back, and I say that there's like this beautiful hummingbird there.
Oh,
anyway,
yeah.
just
there she is, of course.
When you have your energy back, that's really when you start reaching out for those big dreams and doing the things that you thought weren't available to you, accessible to you, that you weren't worthy of.
Of course.
And now, watch out, you guys. Kath Evans is a butterfly spreading her wing.
So nice.
And I cannot wait to see where you take this beautiful heart-centered
thank you.
company.
Thank
I'm
you.
going to link Tallu Co, but tell us where can we find you?
So in British Columbia, we have 35 retail stores. We just counted, it was like 35, which there's a new link on our website where you can shop the line. And we very soon are getting ready to announce maybe a place that you can shop the entire line in Vancouver coming up. It's not ready yet. And then we have our online store. So we do in-store pickup and we ship globally. We ship yesterday we shipped to the UK. So we can ship anywhere.
Awesome.
For sure.
And so I'm going to link that. Are we going to have a special code?
Yeah, you have a code.
Okay, so there's going to be a code.
Yes, you have your code.
Okay.
Share your code.
Vanessa 25.
Yes.
For 25% off.
So good.
Yeah.
Vanessa's people are my people. I love it's so good. Vanessa 25. And you can share it with your friends and family. And my goal for this brand is that it just is shared and it's accessible through the beautiful community of women and you. And thank you so much. This is so
this is this was a pleasure. Thank you for your time. And thank you all for listening. See you next time.
Bye.
Hey, beautiful women. If the tips and tricks I'm sharing here on the show are getting you inspired, excited about the possibility of feeling like yourself again, maybe it's time we hop on a call. Did you know I offer free 30-minute discovery calls to anyone being curious about my health coaching approach, but most importantly, anyone feeling like their time is now. If you're feeling like you've had enough, it's time to turn things around, well, let's chat. Find the link in the show notes and let's meet. The information shared on this podcast is for information purposes only and doesn't provide any medical advice. Vanessa Grotman does not cure, diagnose, or treat disease. Please consult your physician before trying any new protocol or product.